So Brody and I put in some work today, and y'all, it looks amazing. Hey y'all, welcome to Craftable Things. I'm Patrice, and if this is your first time here, thanks for being here. Please be sure to look at the other content. If you enjoy that content, I would love it if you would give it a thumbs up, and also subscribe to our channel. For my returning visitors and subscribers, hey y'all, welcome back. So like I said, Brody and I have been putting in lots of work today, and Brody did an amazing job. For those of you who don't know, Brody is my Ricoma Em1010 embroidery machine. It is a 10 needle machine, and it is a great starter machine for your business. It's not a single needle, it's 10 needles, so you can get a lot done in a shorter amount of time, and you can also get larger surfaces embroidered. But y'all, I cannot wait to show y'all what I did. So some of you may have seen my Keep God First rhinestone template or rhinestone design. I've done it on this channel on a shirt before, and I turned it into an embroidery design. I turned it into two types, so one for applique and one all stitches, but I'm so excited to show you all the process and how I got this done. This is for me a test stitch just to see how it's going to be and how I'll like it, and I think I love it. I think I love it so much that I even want to add this merch to my website. So let's get started. We are going to test stitch out this design on a hoodie. The hoodie that we're going to be using today is a Make Market hoodie from Michaels, and I got it a while back and I actually just found it and I was like, I'm going to use that one. So that's what we're using. If you are interested in anything that I show today, a link will be listed in the description below. Also, a link will be listed in the description to my Ricoma Em1010 in case you're interested in getting one or if you want more information about this embroidery machine. All right, y'all, so let's get started. Before we begin making our hoodie, I just want to show you all the file. So this is the digital file that we're going to be using today. I created this file about a year ago, and I can still use it. I created it only to turn it into a Bling file, and I absolutely love it, but I'm really glad that I saved the file so that I could use it in other ways. So today we are going to be stitching this out on our Ricoma Em1010. I used the Chroma Inspire software from Ricoma to digitize that SVG file, and it was seamless. So I digitized it in two different ways. We will be using the applique version of the file today. And what applique is that we're pretty much going to be stitching around fabric. So instead of using up a lot of thread, the fabric is going to take its place, and you can kind of customize it and use different patterned fabrics. And that's what I love about applique. The other digitized file that we created, we filled in the center of God with a brick pattern, and I love how this looks. So I can't wait to test stitch this out, but today we are just going to be using the applique version of the file. All right, so let's prepare to embroider our hoodie. All right, guys, so here's the hoops that we're going to be using today, and we will be using cutaway stabilizer for this project. And I just want to test this out. We are going to be doing the applique version of the design just because I don't want to have so many stitches. So I have two versions, an applique version and then one version that has a satin stitch around the words with a tatami or brick fill. I can't remember which one now, but we will be doing the applique version. Okay, so I turned our hoodie inside out, and this is the inside of the front part of the hoodie. And I am just going to spray a little bit of adhesive spray on the back prior to putting the stabilizer down. All right, so this is going to go right here. And the hoodie that we're using today is a Make Market hoodie that I got from Michaels. So I'm just going to spray a little. We're going to place it right here. And you want to make sure your placing is good and it's going to cover the design in the hoop. And so that looks pretty good to me. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and turn this back right side in. All right, so our stabilizer is inside, and now it's time for us to hoop the hoodie. So now we're ready to hoop our hoodie, and this is how the bottom of the hoop should be placed into your hoodie or shirt or whatever it is that you're using. You want your notch to be in the bottom right corner and faced in this direction, so you don't ever want to have it like this. Uh-oh, I have rhinestone dots everywhere. All right, so we're going to go ahead and place this in, and you're making sure that you're going to place this underneath the stabilizer. So you need to make sure that the stabilizer is on top of the hoop. So we have that inside, and I'm just checking. So as you can see here, the stabilizer is here and our hoop is underneath. All right, so I'm just gonna make sure it's straightened up as much as possible. I usually use the edge of my table to help ensure that it's straightened up, but I can actually kind of use the pocket of the hoodie to help me see just how straight and even it is. All right, so we're all good, and I am going to get ready to press. So you want to make sure that you're pressing it down just like this. Once you have it hooped, you just want to make sure that it is nice and tight and secure. I usually use my screwdriver to help me get that done. But there are tools that you can use to make it a little bit easier for you. Just gonna go make sure that's nice and tight, and it is. All right. So now we can get ready and head over to the Ricoma Em1010. So first up, we are going to place the hoop on the machine, and I need to make sure I hook it correctly. All right, let me make sure nothing is overlapping or underneath the other part, because I don't want to stitch my hoodie together. All right, so everything is all clear, feels good, looks good. So now we need to load the design into the machine, and I already have it on a USB, so let's head over to our panel. All right, guys, so now we're at the panel, and this is the last project that I did, and I need to remove that. So I do notice here that it's not in embroidery status, and that's what you want. That's the only way that we'll be able to change the design out. And so I'm going to select design set just to check the hoop size, and it is on the correct hoop. We're using the 310 by 210, and I'm just going to select OK. But also, I need to change my x-axis to 100, because the other design I did, I kind of tweaked it a little bit, but I want this to be exactly 100. So I'm pressing the clear, and then now I'm just entering 100% for the x-axis and 100% for the y-axis. All right, so I'm going to click OK. That's all set, and we're going to escape out of there. Next, I'm going to change the file, and so I click the file button, and the file is on my USB. I click the USB, it's already showing me all the files on the USB drive. And so the one that I want, I think I want this one. The file names are kind of similar. Maybe I don't want that one because that's the one that looks filled in. So let's go with that one. So we're going to use that file. It's going to be one color, but we are going to do applique with it. So let me go ahead and place it onto the machine's database of files. And so now I'm going to select the machine, and we are going to just scroll to the end, and there is our design up here. I'm going to click that. I'm going to click OK. And now we are pretty much ready to go. So I am going to change our needle to 1. That's our home needle. And we are going to adjust the colors of the thread we're going to use. And for the first thread, we're going to be using a placement stitch. And so for that one, I'm going to use, we'll use black. So I will select 2. And then for the next thread, we're going to use, what color do we want? Doesn't really matter. I'll go with 1. And then for the third thread, that thread that's going to be the satin stitch all over, we're going to go with, let's do purple. Why not? Okay, and so it's not going to allow me to put any more numbers in because there's only 3 layers or 3 breaks or different threads that we're going to be using. 3 different parts of the design for the most part. All right, so I'm going to change automatic to automatic manual, and we're going to select OK. And now we're pretty much ready to do our trace. And so I am just going to click trace. It's going to put us into embroidery status. All right, guys, so now I am going to trace. And this is the area where the design will stitch. And for a more precise trace, we're going to trace it one more time. While tracing, I'm pressing down the first foot just to make sure that the needle does not touch any parts of the hoop. That is the main reason for tracing, and also to make sure that it's being traced in the area that you want it to be traced in. But more importantly, you don't want that needle to touch any parts of the hoop, and this will help you make sure that it does not. Alright, so I'm just checking just to make sure nothing is underneath, because y'all, I have stitched shirts together, seamed free and clear, and I'm not sure where it went wrong, but I have stitched shirts together, and we don't want that. So now we're all ready, and we're going to click start. And this is the placement stitch, meaning that this stitch is going to help us place the applique fabric. So the placement stitch is done, and now it's time for us to do the tack down stitch. And it's important to have your machine on automatic manual so that you can do everything that you need to do in between each step. So before the tack down stitch begins, we need to place our applique fabric onto the hoodie, and that's what we're doing. I'm placing the fabric on top of the different letters and making sure that that fabric is turned the correct way. You can use heat and bond if you'd like, so that you can maybe press that fabric onto the hoodie or your shirt once you're done stitching it out.
but I'm not using any heat and bond today for this project. And so I'm just making sure that everything is aligned the way that I want it to be aligned, that those words are going the correct way. And now we're ready to apply the tack down stitching. And I'm just watching it to make sure that the fabric does not move while we're doing this. The tack down stitching is done, and we are going to remove the hoop from the machine. You are not going to remove your hoodie or shirts away from the hoop. We're just taking the hoop off so that we can cut the fabric a lot easier. And so right now I am just cutting around the stitches just so that I can kind of open up this design and we can see the word God underneath that fabric. And that way, when we get ready to apply the satin border around the words, everything will look the way that it needs to look, and I won't have to do any cleanup. So you want to close as close to the stitching as possible without cutting the stitches, because you don't want any of that fabric to seep from underneath the satin border. Alright, so that's what we're doing now. This was pretty easy for us to get to and cut out all of that extra fabric that's around.
Alright guys, so now we're going to load this back, and as you see, I tried to cut as close as possible to the stitching, but if you want, you can pre-cut your fabric so that it can fit in perfectly, so that you don't have to do all of that cutting. But we have everything aligned and cut, so now we just have to put this back on the machine. Alright guys, so now we're going to get ready to press start so that we can resume. Just making sure. Guess what? We're all done stitching it out. And from here, it looks pretty good. Alright, so we're all done, and that looks amazing. Let me put my scissors over here for now. And we are just going to pop this out. So we're going to unhoop it. I'm going to remove that hoop from the inside. And wow, that looks amazing so far. So we are going to just flip it in side out. I am going to cut the stabilizer, and I'm just going to make sure that I'm not cutting any part that I should not be cutting. So I don't want to cut any of our hoodie. I'm lifting it up so that I can see it better. So now we're done with this, and I'm just gonna take my scissors and just snip some of these loose threads.
Alright, so I'm going to continue snipping the threads, and then I'm going to take my shirt over to the heat press and just give it a nice press. If you want, you can place some Tender Touch behind the stabilizer, just so that if you're selling these types of shirts or hoodies, it does not irritate anyone's skin. I'm not adding Tender Touch today, but I do have some videos showing me adding some Tender Touch. But y'all, look at this hoodie. It looks beautiful. I absolutely love it.
All right, y'all, so we are all done, and y'all, this looks absolutely amazing. I love how this came out. So of course I can put this on shirts or sweatshirts or even tote bags. But y'all, I absolutely love how this came out. I even love the applique. So you can do whatever you want on the inside. You can put vinyl, HTV vinyl. You can put all types of other fabrics. This fabric, I initially liked this fabric because there were very empowering and encouraging words on this fabric, but having to cut it out in the shape of the letters, you kind of don't see all of the words. Like some of I can see courage, I can see inspire, but not all of the words like I would probably want. But nonetheless, I still think it looks absolutely amazing, and I will be making more of these. And let me know if you guys think that I should add this to my merch on my website. This might be the first thing that I actually decide to sell, as far as like hoodies and t-shirts and things like that on my website. So let me know. But y'all, I love it. I cannot stop looking at it. It looks amazing. And as you see with the Ricoma Em1010, you can get professional products. So this is absolutely something that you can go to a retailer and purchase this, and you will be paying a nice amount of money for it. But this looks amazing. I absolutely love it. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Also, make sure to head over to Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok and join Craftable Things there as well. Also, if you did not hit that subscribe button yet, I would love it if you would take this opportunity right now to go ahead and hit the subscribe button. But that's it for today, y'all. Thank you all so very much for watching. Until next time.